Let's go. Let's get this party started. Let me take a sip of my Powerade first. Welcome to the Bet Win Repeat show. I am Detroit Lenny here with Picks and Parlays. I'm your host today. And I got Tim Earl coming on in a minute. I got Terry Edelman coming on in a minute. I got me coming on right now. I got some other people in the chat that I'm sure will stir up some stuff. We're going to give you a little contest update. You guys are looking for sports books. Shop your lines. There's a link in the description of the video. You can click on it, take you to like 6 different offers from different sports books you can sign up with. So I'm not doing just one thing anymore. If you're looking for a Facebook contest page, this is it. www.facebook.com/groups/picks and parlays contest. Simple, right? Just right there. Just right there. It's also in the description of the video as well. Let's get into a little contest update, shall we? Chris Scott, Velko, Gregory Jones, Chris Gillison, Danny Daniels, Jeff Bradley, and Anthony Scavo. Jeff Bradley won like 2 weeks ago, not last week, week before. So he's looking for a second in the same month. So let's get after that. It's a $100 prize. I fell out yesterday. Blue Jays just couldn't get it done. They won the game. They just didn't win it. I had them on the run line, so it didn't work out. But there are 7 people left. That goes until somebody wins. If you guys are watching, you have to pick on the weekend. No days off. You want days off? Get a real job. I don't know what to tell you. This here in the contest, we don't take days off. Every day, every pick. That's where we're at. So that's where we're at there. Pull that out. Let's see what else. Oh, I should probably put me back like that. Get this. We got a lot of stuff that happened yesterday as far as games go. Some baseball stuff happened. We got a game that just started. First inning, A's, Orioles. Blue Jays yesterday they won. Don't get me wrong, but they didn't cover the run line, so it is what it is. My Tigers, I'm actively rooting for them to not win 50 games this year. That's where I'm at. I'm beyond the point of let's hope to not be embarrassed. I'm actively rooting for them to do something bad. So that's your contest update, though, as far as that goes. We're going to break down the NBA playoffs with Tim Earl. We're going to talk a little bit about NHL playoffs with Terry Edelman, last 2 days of the NHL, what to expect out of those playoffs. And then the 3 of us are going to argue about baseball for probably 15 minutes and talk about some food at some point. That's the rundown of your show. Don't forget to hit that like button, share us out. You'd be surprised who wants to talk shop sports with us, mail lady, neighbors, all that stuff. Don't forget, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. You'll never miss any of our live content. Let's bring in the first guest on this terrible slate of guests. Tim Earl, how we do? Oh, sorry, Tim, you're live. Sorry. I forgot you can hear me, Tim. What's up? What's happening? What's going down?
Well, nothing much. We're into the baseball season. NBA, we got one more day of play-ins, and then we get to the real stuff. We already got 6 out of the 8 lines, or series lines, I should say, for the playoffs. We're just waiting, obviously, for the 1-8 matchups because we'll figure those out tonight. Or sorry, tomorrow. We'll figure those out tomorrow. And then NHL. I know it's the last full day. There's like 2 miscellaneous games tomorrow because I know Buffalo plays tomorrow.
It's makeup stuff tomorrow of games that were canceled for whatever reason or moved.
Yeah, there's a couple of makeup games tomorrow that I think mean absolutely nothing. Yeah, they all mean absolute. That Colorado-Nashville game could mean something.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there's a little bit of stuff that could.
Nothing. Colorado-Nashville. I think Colorado's still fighting for the division. So,
Yep. So here's the thing: everybody that's gonna be in is in. It's just a matter of where they're at,
of where everybody's going.
Yeah.
Right. Colorado is currently a point behind Dallas for that division, and they got an extra game in hand. So Colorado will be playing 2 games over the next stretch, and then Dallas plays 1.
One.
And they have a 1-point lead. So we'll see how those go. But I'm excited. I'm kind of excited. I already have. I know I'm hockeying a little bit. I already have one thing that I like for the playoff series, and I know everybody's going to say absolutely not. This is the year Toronto makes it out of the first round.
Why?
Because all I hear is low Leafs. They never make it out of the first round. Lightning. That's all I'm hearing. All over Twitter, all over everywhere. It's lightning. I'll take Toronto. And I strongly believe if Toronto finds a way to make it out of the first round, they're going to the Cup.
Well, we're going to talk to Terry Edelman about that.
But I'm not the hockey. I will say I am rooting for one thing tonight, and I'm rooting for the Hurricanes tonight.
Yeah.
Because them or Washington, because if one of those things happen, Nick already called me, and he's getting tickets to Game 1 of Islanders versus Carolina if that series happens.
Sure.
$62 each. So we'll be in attendance for that one.
I would love to see play.
I just want to go see a playoff hockey game. I think that's awesome. And then you looked up Game 7's only like $100 a ticket. So if it goes that far, we may be going to Game 1 and Game 7.
Mandy, that's her thing now. She's been to a hockey game. She's seen the Wings play in Arizona against Coyotes. We've seen them play in Detroit against Islanders. I think they play November. But now we want to see, now you want to see them play a playoff game. Like that's like a thing. Might see a Lions playoff game before see a Red Wings playoff game.
Nick, what happens if the Devils lose tonight? So it's either a Canes win or a Devils loss.
Devils play the Capitals.
Yeah, but it's one or the other that needs to happen.
Ooh, good call.
I'm looking at the standings, and Carolina still has a 1-point advantage with both teams playing today, and that's it.
Talk to me a little bit about the NBA, though. What do you expect out of tomorrow's matchups? Who do you think moves on?
Dogs are 4-0 so far, so I'm going to be taking the Bulls. I'm going to be taking the Thunder. The Heat look like a mess.
I was surprised the Bulls beat the
Never in doubt.
You had the Bulls?
I had the Bulls. Yep.
Oh, I was on the Raptors.
Bulls never in doubt.
Well, there you go. That's why I lost. But so can we touch base about the screaming kid that has no discipline to parents? Or do we? Can we? I don't want to be the asshole here, but
you're on the wrong side, so you don't like it. I
get it. Mission accomplished. Like if I'm her dad and somebody says something to my kid, we fighting. Like I'm going to defend that kid to the end of the world. But if I'm the parent sitting next to that kid and she's screaming like that, I'm like, hey, we don't do that shit in public. What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Damar's daughter.
Yeah.
I would have just, I'd have just, I don't want to like sound like the jerk here, but I know if like I coach little kids and I have coached, and like if I'm at elementary kid, middle school game and my daughter is screaming that like that at her brother's game, I'm like, hey, like we don't do that. Like I get it. Like I guess it's a sport.
I didn't watch the game at all, so I would say
screeching like
that's fine. I saw clips on it. I don't watch the games. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I've watched all of. Sorry, I watched the Pelicans game last night because we were live on stream, and we actually did a lot of live betting, and it was really nice last night because I had the Thunder plus 5.5 in money line, so that was nice. And then we live bet the over third quarter and the over fourth quarter, and both of them hit. So it ended up being a very nice night.
I took Thunder simply because at the last minute when I saw Zion warm up and then they said he wasn't going to play, but he was so dominant in warming up that I was like, how are you going to be so dominant? And I get it, gameplay and warm up different. So dominant.
I saw an interview with him.
Yeah.
He said that, yes, he looks strong, but there's a big difference between doing that in practice and doing that in game.
Fair. And there is a big difference. But at the same sense, you kind of saw I don't know. For me, it was like I watched his teammates when he was warming up, and they looked all like, yeah, let's get it.
They looked all excited, and then all of a sudden,
and then tip-off came, and it was like, all right, man, let's try and beat these Thunder. And I was like, no, man, it's the Thunder plus 5.5 for me. And I sprinkled on the money line.
The line dropped. It was like 6.5 dropped down to 5 before game time.
Yeah. So I was like, let's go. So
but I will say before we bring in Terrence, I will say I like a couple of playoff series props. Kings obviously is my favorite. I like the Kings to get by the Warriors. All I'm hearing is Warriors this, Warriors to the finals, Warriors this. No. Give me the Kings. I think the Kings are the best team in California. By the way, first time in NBA history that all 4 California teams made it. And the longest odds to make it in the beginning of the year is the best team now. And that's the Kings. And I've been high on the Kings all year. And then give me the Clippers as well.
So how do you feel about that Sixers-Nets matchup?
I think that one's going to be Sixers in 5. I'm all for upsets. I don't see that one happening.
I like the Cavs-Knicks because that screams
nasty. I like basketball. Cavs in like 5 or 6.
Right.
I think the Knicks are one piece off. If I was to sprinkle on the thing that I think could have the biggest upset, watch out for ATL. Watch out for Atlanta.
Somebody else told me that
has nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose. They have a coach that's trying to secure his job for next year, going up against a Boston team that, yes, is deep. Once again, everybody loves Boston. And by getting...
Who's everybody? Because I see everybody on the Hawks.
Really?
Really. Oh, but they're all from Atlanta.
I understand that.
Every one of the people I know that are on the Hawks are from Atlanta.
Yeah, okay. The big thing is whenever I see anybody predicting their playoffs, it's always Boston. Boston in 4, Boston in 5, Boston in 4.
They're the dominant team all year.
Yes, but if I'm getting 6 plus 650 for the Atlanta Hawks to win that series.
Right.
I will take a sprinkle at that. I think that has a lot bigger of a chance than the Nets doing anything against the Sixers.
I'm down with that. Your brother here says the Knicks, 76ers sweep, and the Lakers.
Absolutely not to the Lakers. I will be smashing the Memphis Grizzlies at minus 140. And I don't lay juice.
I know. But do we think that, like, and Terry, we're going to bring you in like less than 2 minutes, I promise. Real quick, but I know you don't want to talk NBA. Lakers, like, I saw a lot. You saw at like in the mid-third quarter, they were going to win that game. If you didn't play the Lakers money line, I don't mind playoff basketball because you can make some money.
Yeah, I'll watch the playoffs. The play-ins had no interest for me. I don't really care. The teams that were in the play-ins, I believe most of them should blow it up. So
Tate did message me yesterday during the Bulls game and said, it's so hard to be a Bulls fan. And I'm like, you think that's hard? Try being a Pistons fan right now. And he was like, all right, that's cool. That's fair. You know what I mean?
I will say I will watch all my Nuggets playoff games.
It is very, but so Kings, you expect them to win on the road all of a sudden?
The Kings?
The Kings? That's what he says. Are we talking about
Warriors to win on the road? No, I don't expect the Warriors to win on the road. That's why I like the Kings. I'm sorry. You're giving me a team that's won 11 games on the road. And I get to fade them, and I'm getting plus money, like plus $2 for it? Come on.
I'm sorry. This comment is pretty legit because Tate messes with Terry all the time about kilometers. And I'm like, you'll be in 2 minutes. He must be several kilometers away. You know what's funny?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? So Terry, we're gonna bring Terry Edelman in.
I've been here for like 5 minutes.
I know you have. I'm sorry. Listen,
No,
I gotta ask you a question because my kids are in a judo tournament this what's today? Saturday. So they had to go. We'd take them to weigh in for the tournament. Like they have to weigh in, and they had to go. We had to take a cross down, so we go weigh in, and the lady doing the weigh-ins is like 52.6 kilograms, and I'm like, and I go, what is that, metric? Because I thought she said kilometers, and I'm like, and my wife looks at me and she's like, kilograms, Leonard, and I'm like, and I looked at my 10-year-old and told him, you know what your street value is right now? And my wife made, and she made me go to the car because apparently I was embarrassing her. But I told the kid his street value, man, was different. I don't know. Whatever. You guys, it's just me. So yeah, you must have been several kilometers away. So Terry, we're NBAing right now. Tim already NHL'd. We already know.
No betting allowed. Yes, Tim was a little bit incorrect.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't realize Carolina was playing Florida. My bad.
Yeah, so the wild card teams, the lowest wild card team will face the best team in the conference, and then the other division leader gets the other wild card team. Right. So matchups are not set for the NHL. I'm going to be doing a NHL playoff show.
There's a little shakeup going on.
I was maybe going to talk to Craig and see about having the playoff show here on this channel as well.
Okay.
And having like a pick some parlays cappers at Cap Hockey and kind of going through our thoughts about the playoffs.
I don't think we have any of those people.
It's okay. Me and Nick will be here, but we'll go through the matchups once they're set. I'm not going to really say who's going to win. The only matchup that's set is Toronto and Tampa Bay that Tim touched on. And yes, Tim, I get it. Seeing everybody on Tampa Bay, I get why you would say Toronto, but yeah, I did say that earlier. But yeah, Toronto has not made it past the first round in 20 years. So basically, the last time the Sabres made the playoffs, and I
just why?
I don't think it's a good bet to bet Toronto.
I know
Toronto does have their best team that they've had in a long time, and Tampa Bay, their dynasty is starting to. So Toronto could win, but I need to see it before I'll believe it.
So do you guys think look at me messing with layouts and stuff. So do we think right now, right? You customize them at the bottom. And this way it doesn't change. I don't know, whatever. I don't think so. Listen, every year this happens to me. I'm like, I'm in the car with Tim, and I'm like, you know what, Toronto, man, they got 7-game series. Like, I mean,
I wasn't on them last year.
Come on, no, every year I'm saying I am, and this year you're on them, and I'm like, I want to get in the vote. I want to get in the car with you and say Toronto gets past series 1. But then it is the same. Then I have Nick Earl in the back of my head that says, Tampa in 6, Leafs gonna leave, and that's what happens to me every year. Stop doubting Tampa. Yeah, stop doubt because Tampa is that team that's built for this. Tampa's built for.
I'm
the playoffs.
Not doubting Tampa.
The Leafs are not built for the playoffs.
I'm not doubting Tampa. We've seen what they've done.
I will kind of say Tampa Bay is
not the same
heading
team.
downwards. They are heading downwards. Their top guys are getting old. Vasilevsky's played a lot of hockey. So I'm not going to say Toronto wins, but eventually Tampa Bay is going to fall off.
Terry wants you to take a liter of water after running so quickly here. Were you running about? I'm trying to say it in Canadian. Mm-hmm. Were you running a boat? 30 kilometers, eh? Maple syrup, Labatt's, and Looney Tunes.
Loonies and Toonies, yeah. We don't have $1 and $2 bills here. We have coins.
Yeah, and that's fair. And the A, I like how you worked in some Canadian and Minnesota A. In the about, but Terry, we wouldn't mess with you if we didn't love you. That's
Exactly.
why we don't.
I want to give out a pick here because I haven't given out any picks since I've come on, and that's why I'm here.
That is why you're here. So let's talk some NHL with the NHL expert.
I have
Terry,
one
what do you
NHL
got?
game.
What do you got
I
going in
did
the
say I
NBA
was
today?
cutting off NHL. I said I was done,
Yeah, that
and
was a lie.
I lied. I lied.
Terry,
Yep.
Unbelievable.
I heard a
Florida
rumor
Panthers.
that Earl Sports Bets has every over bet.
Nick does. Yeah. Nick
Yeah.
put up every single over.
Nick, every over and
Now,
every
I was
Nick
tempted
does.
to bet some overs. I can see why Nick did that because
Right.
it's the last game of the season.
On
You
hockey.
think anyone wants to block a shot? Blocking a shot doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't.
And these bottom teams,
Don't
why
care.
do they get to block shots? You think
Right.
you think teams are gonna look at the last game of the season and see how many block shots he got, and that's who they're gonna sign? No, teams aren't gonna look at that. Players are not gonna want to block shots. The issue with betting all the overs is that there are going to be players that are going to just stand around and kind of skate around and
Going through
for
the motions,
exercise.
so to speak.
There will be people that will not shoot the puck to the best of their ability. And yeah, so I can see why Nick's doing what he's doing. I can't jump on board because I can see
But
it's too much of a wild card. Who's going to even play? We might be betting overs with some of these teams, and all their good scorers are out.
well,
So-
I think his, and I'm don't want to speak for Nick or anything like that, but I think what it is like we're just going to throw it all there, and he doesn't expect to go 15-0, but I bet you he's profitable at the end of the day. I think, would you say he wanted to go 10-5 or something like? He'll bet 15 overs and go 10-5 and be profitable. But to be honest with you, at probably minus 110, maybe minus 115, most of them are right around there.
Some of them are plus money.
Yeah, some are plus money. You're going to be roughly not much juice either way. Winning.
Go 10-5. Go 9-6. You're profitable.
I was just going to say, you only got to go 9-6. You might be able to go 8-7 if one of those is plus money. If the one is plus, I'm just saying.
I guess. Yeah.
I'm just saying, you get 8 and 7. You can need to get 9 to make money.
Okay.
10 makes you better money, obviously. I heard lazy skates from Rickett. Yeah, I could see that. Just lazy skates.
So wait, Terry, what was your play?
Yeah, we'll just go through these next comments and I'll give it out. It's okay.
What, huh? No, go ahead, continue. What's your plays for? I'm just going through comments as well.
Yeah, no worries. Well, this is a good conversation. I like what Nick's saying of rolling out the pucks, playing defense optional. Bottom feeders don't want to block shots, and teams in playoff position don't want to get hurt. Plenty of backups. The backups is the reason why you might not get your over, though, because a lot of these backups are AHLers that can't score. So I can
that are hungry and want to go after it. We've seen this. We've seen in the NBA when you get a bunch of G leaguers come up. That's why you get a lot higher tempo games and a lot higher scores with teams that don't care because they're just bringing in their young guys and they're running up and down the floor.
Right, but so
basketball's a different sport, and
I understand
for an instance, I'll give Minnesota as an example. A few games ago against Chicago, they dressed a bunch of young rookies, including a guy that is fighting to make the lineup in Marco Rossi, and he was barely noticeable. So even these young guys that are motivated, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to show up.
It doesn't.
So I can see why
transition into goals just because of motivation. Yeah.
Yes. But there will definitely be games that will go over. Like
right.
Nick, I can see why he's doing it. I just can't do it myself. I'm just taking one play today, and that's the Florida Panthers money line. Florida is at home against Carolina. Yes, I know Nick wants to see Islanders and Carolina.
I guess Terry doesn't want us to have fun and go see playoff hockey.
Terry,
Thanks, Terry.
No fun allowed.
All
right, we'll see you guys later.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know my bets had to be about what the Earls will feel like and make the Earls feel better.
Now that you know,
I didn't know that should have been a part of my handicapping.
So obviously for next season,
yeah, I guess I'll have to make it 50% of my capping. Will this make the Earls happy or not?
Yeah,
and if it does,
all right, it's not so much to ask.
First of all, it's only 49%. The other 51 is for me.
Florida's at home. Okay, they're at home. Final game of the year. If they get 1 point in this game, so if they get to overtime, then they will not have to face the Boston Bruins. Boston just broke the NHL record, all-time record, most points in a season. most wins in a season. Nobody wants to head to Boston in a playoff series. Nobody.
Right.
Florida's at home, facing Carolina, a team that is overrated, doesn't really score too much. I think Florida can hang in this game. I think they can get to overtime. I think they win the game. I'm betting Florida today. That's my final NHL regular season play of the day.
Julie Carley's asking about Vancouver puck line. I know you didn't bet it, but your thoughts on it?
I will be 100% honest. I basically skipped the NHL. I didn't really cap most of the NHL slate.
Okay.
At this time of the year,
all the games you're looking at Vancouver and Arizona,
right? Because it's the poopy. It's the.
I understand. I love bum fights,
right?
But are you, in that case? Do you want to look at the Philly Chicago game? That one looks interesting. Let's lay $5 on Edmonton today. Let's do that.
I wouldn't. Somebody
hey, that Chicago game is going to get bet.
That Chicago
it was
game
announced today.
Right now.
Jonathan Toews.
I'll look at the money right now.
Jonathan Toews.
There's more on here than we think. Like that Chicago. So there's so far the most money is on Pittsburgh, Columbus. No, Detroit. Wait, am I looking at hockey?
Yeah, real quick, looking through the entire slate. What teams care today? Boston already locked into whatever. They've been President's Cup for 3 weeks now, and then Montreal's out of it. That Carolina-Florida game, Carolina's fighting for the division. Florida's fighting for that first wild card. That's a game that two teams care about. Other than that, Detroit and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's locked into the 3. Detroit's out. New Jersey and Washington. Washington's out. Okay, New Jersey's still going after the division, but that requires Carolina to lose and them to win. So I guess you got a little bit of motivation from the Devils, but not really, and nothing from Washington. Ottawa, Buffalo, nothing. Pittsburgh, Columbus, nothing. Colorado, New York. Right. Sorry, not Colorado. Toronto, New York. Toronto locked into the 2. New York locked into the 3. Nothing. Wild, Nashville, nothing. Colorado and Winnipeg. Colorado's fighting for the division still. So they need to win, what is it, 1 out of the next 2?
I fall along the line with this Brickett. Coyotes at home. But to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't bet it.
Tim.
I hear you, Julie.
Going back to my comment earlier, stick to basketball. No. Boston 100% cares.
Right.
You can't say the Bruins don't care.
Okay,
people have been saying the Bruins don't care for the last few weeks.
Why does this game matter to them?
It could be a million.
They get to 65 wins.
We can't blanket state.
Are they okay? They're going for history.
They get to 65 wins, and they continue to have the best record ever.
Do they have the best record already?
Yes.
Okay.
That doesn't mean they're just going. Doesn't mean they're just going to roll over.
Care, but where's the motivation? Because if I'm the Boston head coach,
no team has ever got to 65 wins. No team has ever got to 65
nothing to me.
Nothing to you. But
sorry. If I'm the Boston head coach,
hold on. Also, the leadership of the team and Patrice Bergeron will not allow players just to, we don't care.
They're in a different mindset.
That locker room doesn't allow that.
But I wouldn't bet them. But I think there's more.
Yeah, I'm not on them, but you can't say they don't care.
I'm not saying that you're not. I'm just asking what the motivation for them is, because I'm just going through and trying to figure out which teams are motivated today, judging on what they could do in terms of moving up and down for playoffs. But
there is a lot more than just moving up and down for playoffs. Like what Nick said about Craig Anderson. This is the last game of his career.
Yeah.
Oh, he's retiring?
Yes, and he's facing his former team. He's going to be motivated. Captain Bry is asking me to talk about the Blackhawks. Jonathan Toews, this is his final game in Chicago in his career. He's facing the team that he won his first cup with, or he won his first cup against. Chicago won their first cup against Philadelphia.
Yeah, there's some player
there's
motivation.
Still a lot of teams that are motivated. Doesn't mean go and bet on them.
Now,
but
those are more players that are motivated. So would you take Jonathan Toews to score a goal tonight?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm not backing whatsoever. But just
Okay,
because
if
it's
you didn't
player
hate the
oriented doesn't mean the
Blackhawks-
team around him is going to want to win for him. This is their captain who's leaving, who's been the face of the franchise other
Yeah.
than Kane. They're going to want to win for him. So
Dave
I
has
see the
no idea
whole
what you guys are
team.
yelling about.
I see the whole team coming motivated in this one, and I hope Chicago wins. Sorry, Tate, but
For
he
the
knows why.
record, this is why I put these two knuckleheads on this show on this day.
For
This
the
is
record,
why.
I'm not arguing with Terry. I'm just trying to pick his brain to see what exactly people are motivated for.
Yes, and I don't even know. There is definitely other. There's probably
There
player
could be some
bonuses.
contract to motivational, like
Yes, there's
Is
lots.
there,
of
is there any
individual stuff.
incentives? Because I know
Right,
but that's-
NFL, you have teams on the last day. Oh, if so-and-so gets 23 yards, they get a bonus. Is there anybody who could possibly get a bonus because if they get another point or score a goal or whatever it is tonight because of their contract? Is there any motivation incentives there?
I don't know because, like
Okay.
I said, I didn't cap today's slate.
Fair
I
enough.
didn't cap today's. There's probably other spots out there that are available.
There's probably a
but
few.
I'm not
out there
trying to
that
guess
are-
in what's going on. I'm
No.
focused on baseball right now,
Yes.
and
Speaking of,
baseball's
let's
going
talk
well.
baseball because we can all agree on some baseball. Let's talk MLB. There are two games. Let me recap those that are going on real quick. Bottom of the second. Let me refresh because who knows? No,
Both of them are
Yankees-
bottom second.
Yeah, 1-0 A's. Man on first and second. 1 out. Bottom of the second. Red Sox are tied with the Rays. 1-1. 1-1. So the Yerfes hit in
In
both
both games.
early games.
Mhm.
I got the hiccups also. What the hiccups I'm trying to get rid of. Terry,
Nice.
I won money on your Blue Jays yesterday when they were down 3-1 in like 7th, 8th inning. I took them plus 550 on the money line for a whole ass unit, and I sat there and thought, boy, somebody right now is going, this is, oh my God, Tigers are moving. And I'm like, man, every Tigers fan out there, true and tried,
That was
I
another
don't care,
bullet,
that shit's bleeding from your soul, Tiger blood. You knew they were going to lose that game in the 7th inning when they were up 3-1. You just
They
knew.
tried.
And
They
then when
tried.
they tied it, it dropped to like -180. And I'm like, oh, hell yeah. But I was on the Blue Jays run line from the get-go, so I lost that. But the plus 550 made up for it. So, but I'm on that game particularly. I'm on the Blue Jays on the run line. But the team I want to ask you two about, I think they're for real. I don't know. They're obviously not going to, baseball's a very long season. But the Rays, the Tampa Bay Rays, who are currently playing the Red Sox, like I said, 1-1, just destroying people. It's not that they're winning. They're beating.
They're winning, and they're 12-0, and they've covered the run line in 11 out of those 12 games. And 10 out of the 12, they've won by 4+. Granted, they've also played Oakland, Detroit, and Washington.
I don't care.
I know.
Here's why.
We just need to put that into
agreed. That has to
perspective
be
as well.
folded into the combo.
It's crazy what they're doing. The fact that they're 11-0, 12-0?
12-0.
12-0 right now is phenomenal. I'm not taking anything away from them. But they look who they played. They will have a true test this weekend when they go across the border.
I agree. That'll be their first real
Will I be
test.
paid in the race? Absolutely not.
So I will say this. I think they're legit. Here, I always say this about.
I was
this
wrong.
Is my biggest bitch
Nick,
about Detroit.
Nick was all
sports
over
teams.
them. I was not. I had them out of my playoffs.
Yeah.
It is very early in the baseball.
It is very early.
Very early. Very
But
early.
12-0
Yeah, we're not going on
very
6-0.
It is
But
very
here's my thing. Is I think as a Detroit sports fan, we say this about our Detroit teams all the time. Beat the teams you should beat.
Yep.
That's how it starts. That's how winning organizations start. Compete in the games that you should and beat the teams you should. And
You should.
they should have already beaten. They should be 12-0 considering their
Their schedule.
teams that their opponents that they
Mhm.
played those 12 games. But how they're beating him by 3-4 runs.
They
They're
look good. They
destroying
look
people.
good.
And
My
it's not
big
just their
concern
bats.
coming into the year for
They're
them,
not allowing runs. Their defense is playing really well.
their pitching was never the problem. I looked at
No.
them and went, that is one of the best pitching staffs in baseball, bar
Right.
none.
I
From
wanna
the
see him play
starters
Toronto.
to the bullpen. I think I had them. I had Cleveland. You got a couple of teams that have very, very solid pitching rotations. And it was the offense that I was worried about.
Hopefully 9. Because I also took
Wow.
the over 9, and I was talking with all three of us were messaging last night, and I go, I love the Blue Jays today.
Although
But I
we
hope
didn't- me and
I
Nick
also
didn't put
like
it
the
up on the
over. Huh?
We didn't put it up on the site. Nick didn't like the game.
I liked the Blue Jays. I like the over 9.
2-1 Baltimore.
I just worry that Detroit does their part. I think Blue Jays score 6. And I took their over 5.5 on team total. So I think they get 6 or more. I think they could score 9 by themselves. So
They could.
that being
I think
said,
Bassett
Tigers
has a
probably
solid
win 2
game,
to 1.
That would be my big concern. I'd rather go Toronto run line over rather than the over, because I think Bassett's going to have a little bit of a bounce back, because we saw it last year, and I know Terry doesn't want to hear it. He had a game out in San Francisco for the Mets where he allowed like 8 runs. And then after that, he was a very solid. He's not going to be a guy that shuts out everybody. He doesn't have that dominant stuff, but boy, will he eat up innings. He will pitch 6-7 innings every single game.
That's not a bad. That's
and
a
that
fair
is a
statement.
fantastic guy to have in your rotation.
Right.
I know Terry, after the first game, started shit talking him. He's going to be just
now. He was awful all spring training.
Right.
He was awful in that first game, and then he comes up in his second game and gives up a 2-run homer to Mike Trout. At that point, I was ready to ship him out of town. I was going to donate as much money as possible to cancel his contract and ship him out of town. But after that, he
settled in.
He played much better against the Angels the rest of the game. Now he's getting the Tigers. And yes, when talking about the over, I'm not on the over. If you want to bet this Blue Jays game, you have to take Matt Chapman props. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but Matt Chapman is hitting the ball all over the place. 1.5 bases, plus 120, plus 100 at some other spots. You have to shop around.
Home run props like $3.
Yeah, he does have home runs, and he didn't get one in the last game, but he had one in 3 games previous to that. But the Jays, I'm not going to be taking home run props of the Jays. I'm not. Because they are not focused on hitting home runs. They're focused on getting singles, doubles, triples. That's their offensive mind.
I love to hear it.
Hey,
their offensive mind is to get more hits, not necessarily power, but to hit it to the other side.
And that's
Moneyball.
Last night, 10th inning.
He gets on base.
Yeah, 10th inning, man on second. They bunt him over to third.
Yeah, I knew my run line was dead.
And then they bring in the Tiger closer, which is a joke. He throws one pitch. Boop, right over to second baseman's head, right up the middle-ish between the second baseman and shortstop. Guy walks from third home. He could have did backflips. My fat ass could have cartwheeled there, and then I would have made it. That's how the little blooper to first, and it was like he threw one pitch. That's your guy. That's your go-to dude. The one pitch, boom, game over. Meanwhile, I'm like, jack this sumbitch out the yard so I can win the run line and get the money. But you knew they were. You saw it on the Tigers' faces when they looked in the dugout. They went, "Shit!" When this guy came on the mound, you saw like if Miguel Cabrera could have gave you an actual speech right at that moment. This is what he did. He was doing what he went, and he got up off the dugout and like off the bench and started to walk like he was going to the locker room. That's how much
he's coming in. This game's over.
In their own bullpen. He threw one pitch. Game over.
He has a very good record against Miguel Cabrera. So I did want to mention that. There's one Tiger to look at. And he has been a thorn in the Jays' side too in Rogers Center as well.
right.
So if you are going to look at one Detroit player, Miguel Cabrera could be the guy.
He has good numbers on it, and none of them were against the Mets because the Mets never played the Tigers with Bassett on the team. So
he has good numbers against Toronto, Miguel Cabrera in general.
Yeah.
It's there's certain teams that you love watching him play. And I just, I'm a Tiger fan, so what do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, and you know what? I want to touch with that the run line, and that's what I said in a group chat that some of us are in on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Run lines in baseball,
and it works.
The channel is called Picks and Parlays. With baseball, there is nothing wrong with parlaying baseball money lines together.
I do it
in
all
my
the time.
opinion. There's nothing wrong with it. Yesterday, I went 2 and 3 on the site. Toronto run line didn't cash. St. Louis Cardinals run line didn't cash. 2 heartbreaking run line losses. Broke my winning streak on the site.
Wait, what? Cardinals run line didn't cash? Yeah, I did.
Or sorry, not Cardinals, Braves. Braves run line.
I was about to say, because I was on Colorado.
Yeah, I saw St. Louis here on the screen, and it caught me. I was like,
that's fair.
But
Braves, Braves won 5-4.
Yes, Braves run line didn't cash, and Jays run line didn't cash 2 and 3 days. So I'm sorry to the people that bought my package yesterday. Number one last 7 days, not to toot my own horn here. Number one last 7 days, package available up on the site today on picksandparlays.com or dot. Yeah, but
love it.
Yes, but I don't know what I was saying
yesterday.
Lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, parlaying money lines together. So I had a 2 and 3 night on the site, but I cashed 4 parlays, 4 teamers and a 3-teamer. So there's nothing wrong with parlaying money lines together in baseball because there are.
Just be smart when you do it.
So here's the thing: you got to also be smart about baseball too. Keep in mind, if you're taking a run line with the home team, like for example, taking a run line with the Blue Jays today. They might only bat 8 times. And I think today they only bat 8 times because I think they get up early and often. And I do worry about the over because of that. If they're up 6-0 going into the 8th inning, you're screwed. Or 6th, 7th inning, you're screwed. Unless you're looking for single home runs from basically the Tigers bullpen is going to give up. So you got to keep that in mind. Like, I don't mind run lines on the away team because they're going to keep batting.
They're also a little bit more juicy on the away team.
Right, exactly. So keep that in mind when you guys are doing that. But Josh Thomas has here's what he's on today. Reds money line, Blue Jays team total over 5.5. That's my parlay party. Is Blue Jays run line and Reds money line. And the St. Louis game under 8. I wanted to give out the Tampa Bay game, the Rays on the run line, but I forgot it was an early game, and I didn't record my parlay party last night because I was lazy and went to bed. So I don't want to I don't want to release a video and then the game starts in 2 hours. It's giving up people, that's a dick move on my part. Like I'm gonna give out the Yerfies for the 2 early games right now on a video. Like I don't.
All right, I'll go ahead and bet those.
Yeah, go ahead and bet those Yerfies. What do you guys feel about St. Louis under 8? We already talked Blue Jays team total. We beat the hell out of that game. But what about the Reds money line? Philly today. Nick
Lodolo. My boy Nick Lodolo. You know I backed Nick Lodolo. I backed him every start so far.
I did, but
my boy right there.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I believe in the Reds, but I do.
I took the Reds run line because I wasn't laying minus money on the Reds.
It was minus 135.
Yeah, I took plus 160 with the run line.
Okay. See, this is what, to Terry's point, like
this is where a lot of people would just take them and parlay them. I just took their run line.
And that's fair if I'm individually betting it, but I like, since Cincinnati's too juiced to bet individually, but it's juiced just right for me to put with a parlay, in my opinion.
And there's plenty of pieces to parlay stuff with today if you wanted to. Because you had Baltimore, who was minus $2. You have Toronto, that's minus 230, and minus 250 for St. Louis. Obviously, I don't like St. Louis today. How do
you feel about the under?
I am raising the Jolly Roger today, plus 230 for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I know it's Vince Velasquez. I'm not a believer in this in the Cardinals. I know Nick's high on them. I am not. I like the Cubbies to win the division. But that's beyond the point. I'm taking the Pirates today. That's
All
my
right.
big plus money ticket today. And I know there's no starting pitcher for Milwaukee yet.
Yeah.
I don't care who starts for Milwaukee today. I will be on the Brewers. You get a very, very bad scheduling spot for the Padres. They went and played 4 games against the Braves, had no days rest, traveled up to New York, played 3 games against the Mets, no days off, now traveling from New York to San Diego to play this game. That is a horrible scheduling spot for them. I'm on Milwaukee tonight.
Fair enough. Terry, your thoughts on the Reds or under 8 in St. Louis?
Reds money line. I can't back the Reds at that price. I will not. Not against Philadelphia, a team that has hit Lodolo pretty well. A few players. Bryson Stott has hit him really well. Stott's hitting the ball really well for Philadelphia right now. I can't lay that price with the Reds money line, and there's no way I'm trusting the Reds on a run line. Absolutely not. I can't do that. With St. Louis on the under, huge pitching advantage with St. Louis. The Cardinals hit righties really well. They're 8th in baseball. Velasquez has started off pretty rough. If he can get Goldschmidt and O'Neill out, he has a chance. Both those players have hit him really well. Tyler O'Neill has a 750 average. He's 3 for 4 against Velasquez. I think Cardinals win that game by 3+. I don't think it's close. I think it's a dominant Cardinals win. And like Tim, I'm not super high in the Cardinals. They're kind of a team where, along with the Cubs, where I expect them to have a good season and fight for a playoff spot, but I just don't know how good or how bad they are. There's a lot of teams like that where I'm still getting a feel for them this year to see where I think they're going to finish. And I'm not super high in the Cardinals, but I think that they've kind of underperformed what they should be doing, and I think it's a good opponent for them. So I do like the Cardinals. I want to take the under because of Velasquez. He could be lit up. So
it'd be horrible. I will say this: the NL Central is my least favorite division in baseball. And let me explain why real quickly is I just don't cap it. I cap certain divisions, and I know my AL Central, obviously.
That's the one division I don't like is the AL Central.
Yeah, and that's fine. And then there's just, how you just have that one bugaboo, like the one division that
you can't get right
on any team in there.
No.
Milwaukee can't do it. Pirates, I'd be on the opposite side of them forever when they sucked, but now they're actually not bad. So
Pittsburgh's a baseball town.
That's what I heard. Cubs, Cardinals, Reds.
It's early for them.
I'm joking.
You see, who was that team last year?
Pittsburgh's
the Angels. The Angels. I think it was the Angels that got off to this really hot start, and everyone were like, "Oh my god!"
Because I remember earlier on the season, everybody was like going crazy. Oh, New York and LA run the league because it was like Yankees, Mets, Dodgers, Angels, or whatever in the top 4. Yeah, they did well, and then they dropped off, and you get teams that get hot.
I'm not saying the Rays are going to miss the playoffs because I don't think they miss the playoffs
at this point now.
But they're not going to be this dominant all year long, and I don't.
I attribute it to for me, I didn't think the Bruins were going to be this. I don't think anybody saw the Bruins being this good.
No.
But I thought the Bruins were mediocre at best at the beginning of the year. I was wrong. I'm not going to when we started talking NHL season, I was not high on the Bruins. I was completely wrong.
I think Nick gave them out to miss the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we were on the same boat.
Most people did.
Whatever. But
he also
I'm going to kind of give myself a little bit of credit because I wasn't high in Boston. I'm not going to try to say that, but I wasn't as low on Boston as a lot of people were. I did think that they were going to flirt with the playoff spot, but I had no.
Do you think they're going to make the playoffs this year?
I don't know. It's a little rough for them.
Hey, it'd be great if
the record isn't too good. 64
it'd be great if they had a first round exit. I don't think they win the cup.
No, I don't think they win the cup.
Yeah, as Nick said earlier, he doesn't think they get past the conference finals. they're not losing in the first round. I'll tell you that. Boston
No.
is not losing in the first round. So
But
If they play Florida, I think that would be
you
competitive.
don't want to fade Boston.
I think. I don't think Boston sweeps. I think whoever Boston plays in the first round, whether it's New York or it's Florida, I think that series goes at least 6.
5.
Maybe. They get 1 win, but
Maybe.
it won't be. It'll be a close
Because
game.
if it's the Islanders, I think Sorokin has the ability to steal a game or 2. And then if it's the Panthers, they might be able to, because they've been hot lately. They might be able to outdo them.
Tampa's tied, but your Orioles 3-1.
Need some more runs.
And it's only top of the third, so I like that. Yankees money line, unfortunately, I'm not. I agree, but don't agree. I've stayed off of that game because the Twins are playing rather well.
Yeah.
Let the Minnesota fan. Yes, I'm a Blue Jays fan of base, but I cheer for the Twins. I do. We all know I cheer for all Minnesota teams. But do not bet the Twins at all this entire series, especially this game.
They don't play the Yankees very well.
The Yankees have won 20.
They don't play the Yankees very well.
24 of the last 27 home games against Minnesota. 24 of the last 27. The Yankees have a really good young pitcher on the mound. Yes, Joe Ryan's been great for Minnesota as well. Yes, the Twins have played well, but the Yankees are 6th best in MLB against righties. Minnesota's 24th. Yankees have home field advantage, hitting advantage, pitching advantage, and domination advantage. As much as I'd like Minnesota to win this game, the Yankees are winning this game. So, and I'm a Blue Jays fan that wants the Yankees to lose, but it's not happening. So,
well, Terry,
I know I'm very passionate about. I just gave a passionate speech, but I love the Yankees today. I think they roll.
Okay.
Money line is definitely a good parlay piece.
All right. Well, that being said, I'm gonna pull Terry in first. Terry, plug your stuff. Tell him what to expect from you on the Picks and Parlays site. All that good stuff before we run on out of here. Tim, don't go nowhere because you're up next.
Yeah, number 1 on Picks and Parlays the last 7 days. I'm a very streaky bettor. So when things are going good, they're going good. When they're not going good, they're not doing too well. But they've been going good lately. So you can get my packages up on the site. It's only going to be really baseball now until the playoffs, which will be, I think, Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday. So I will have NHL playoff picks as well, but it's mostly baseball now. And I'm seeing the baseball slate really well lately. So hoping to keep that going throughout the summer. And go Blue Jays.
I like it. Go Blue Jays. Tim Earl, plug what you got going on the site, my friend.
All right, we got the rugby. We got the rugby going. Got Russian
Tim Earl, everybody.
No, I'm kidding. Hey. NBA playoffs. The real playoffs start Saturday. Kings are winning that series. Let's just drill that one in now. We'll come back to it later. And then baseball. We go galore with baseball. We always have a lot of plays up. 9 to 10 plays a night whenever there's full slates because we like to go all out for baseball. NHL playoffs is just right around the corner. That's all Nick. So I have zero influence in all of that. But it's going to be a good playoffs. And then May 19th, WNBA comes back, and normally I'm pretty solid with that as well. So lots of sports and lots of ways to make money.
Love it. Don't forget, guys, you're looking for Tim, you're looking for Earl Sports Bets, or Nick or Terry. Any of our premium handicappers, use the promo code MLB. That'll save you 20% off the entire site. I do have an update on that Oakland Orioles game. 4-3, so that over 9 looks good for who said that? Sam wanted the over 9.
I have 10. I have 10 on the site.
Okay, there you go. Well, we're on our way.
That's not for people who have Springs strikeout prop.
Out of the game with an injury.
I'll mention I did have a future for Tampa.
It just goes better for our Tampa game.
Zach Eflin to win the Cy Young. He's injured. He's not getting it.
Yeah, I wasn't going to get it anyway.
Hey.
I did want to touch. Tim mentioned WNBA, and I will mention. I will be betting the Phoenix Mercury. Is it Phoenix?
No, don't. Not the
I'll be
first
betting
game.
them in their first game.
No,
listen,
no.
the
Yeah,
first,
I'll be back
hold
then.
on, hold on.
It's
No,
100% a play for me.
no.
100% a play.
Watch this. Watch this. I can mute them. Listen, here's rule number 1 about betting the WNBA. You have to know the city and the team they're from. Okay, go ahead. Oh wait, I unmuted. I unmuted them.
Absolutely not.
Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely.
Why are you
like,
backing them? Why are you backing them, Terry? I want to know.
Brittany Griner.
All right, that's exactly why I'm fading them. Okay. Her first game back, I'm fading them. I saw that from about a month and a half ago. Once we heard that she was going to be able to play, I'm like, all right, I'm fading it. But that's just me. I fade the star player. So.
You're fading a star player that returns, but this isn't just a star player returning. This is a star player returning from. I'm not going to go into the politics side of it, but everybody should know.
It'll be an emotional game.
Yes.
Let's just say that.
I will be backing the Phoenix. I don't care what the spread is. I will be backing them the first game of their season.
Well, we got time to talk about WNBA. We got time.
I don't know WNBA, so Tim is the expert. So if you want to listen to him, that's totally fine. But that will be a play for me. I'll be backing.
I already know. I'm grabbing LA. Well, do you want?
Are we talking about WNBA? It starts in 2 months right now.
It starts.
I don't necessarily think she has the best game.
I would
but that's why I'm not betting like props for her, but the team. I think the team comes out for her.
I would recommend backing Phoenix on their second game of the year at home because their first game of the year is on the road. So maybe
I'll probably back them both games.
I see what you're saying. The home game be more.
I think the home game will be bigger. And then the other game I know I'm going to be backing is I'll be backing the Seattle Storm on day 2 against the Las Vegas Aces because I fade the banner.
I can't wait to have you two knuckleheads on again.
WNBA.
No, I don't know.
I got my Liberty shirt already.
Liberty
for the championship.
WNBA.
Let's get it.
Bibbity.
Yeah, me and the Earls, we fight like there's no.
I'm hoping the Pistons hire.
We're like a married couple. We fight all the time.
Before on that, I'll let the Pistons to hire Becky Hammond as their head coach for the Aces.
Baltimore game is tied up at 4 now.
You're on your way to that over, boy. Let's go. That's going to be the Bet Win Repeat show. We're going to bounce on out of here. Tim Earl Sports Bets, Terry Edelman, Getting Wild with Terry and friends. Detroit Lady Picks and Parlay. It's been the Bet Win Repeat show. We appreciate you guys stopping by. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button on your way out. Till then, good luck unless you're against this.